Hello everyone, welcome today. Today we have quite an odd game to talk about today. It is a newly released game published by Xseed. I think it's actually made by no, it's actually made by the people who made Class of Heroes and actually own the rights to Wizardry these days. Was wrong. Either way, we're going to be talking about this. Now, physical package-wise, it's very colorful and pretty much gets the point of how it is. It is rated M because there is a lot of sexuality in this. The booklet is actually, I know these days it's very odd to actually see a booklet, but not only is it an actual booklet with contents, but it has full-blown color. Now that is pretty rare to see these days, really. It's really nice to see, and it's odd from Xseed, who have been on a very rampant download-only kind of thing. So that was a bit odd. This is on the Vita and PS3, and soon it's also going to be on the PS4, so there's a nice variety of consoles, handheld and console-wise, so there's a nice, lovely options. Now, what is this game? Now, this is a sequel, actually, but they did not keep the two in it. This game is a sequel to a game that was on the original PSP. Of course, we didn't get that title, being hence why no 2. But the concept is that basically the city's being overran. And in case you don't know, this is an actual area in Tokyo. But the city's basically being overran by vampire-like creatures that steal life force. And just like vampires and someone believes, depending on which sources you're taking from, the sunlight hurts them. Literally, like they'll melt in the bleh. But some reason, casual clothing can protect them from the heat waves. So, for heroes to actually kill them, you actually have to strip your foes to where they'll literally don't really have much covering them aside from their underwear, and they'll die. Literally like they're in the streets melting to the ground. So the game plays like a very brawling game with aspects of kind of a dating sim kind of aspect. You have multiple people you can bring with you, only one at a time, but you have options of people that can come with you and help you on the streets. And the game plays a lot like a 3D beat 'em up. It has a lot of similar aspects to a lot of beat 'em up games. You can customize your character's clothing, tons of weapons. You can upgrade your clothing and your weapons. There's a nice amount of stuff for beat 'em up. It is kind of a shame there was no 2-player option though, because you always really have a partner, but it's single player, so that's kind of a lost shame though. But the main option, the main goal in combat is you're basically beating down the head, chest, and pants spot of your opponents and wearing down their clothing so you can strip them in that. And there's a lot of different techniques of doing this. Once you wear down a lot of different people's clothing, you can do chain strips where you whip all their clothing off one after another during QuickTime button presses, really, that appear during it. The game offers multiple difficulties, and I'm currently playing on hard mode. And I can tell you, you get your butt beat down really fast. But luckily, you're able to actually heal yourself at the cost of nothing. You can simply use a button and straighten up your clothing, healing it all, which you will be using a lot if you're playing on hard. Easy seems, I haven't played easy, but it gives you a lot more benefits if you're a little Now, story-wise, the actual story, what's happening, the main character gets, just a quick brief, the main character basically gets conned into a job offer, and he gets turned into one of these creatures that are sucking life force out of people, and you get saved, and you basically decide to go on rampant revenge, or depending on your dialogue choices, perversion. otaku perversion. The game has multiple choices and it has kind of an affiliation system with your different party members and that, which a lot of them are goals. Which actually, taking the book out, since it so nicely laid out all the characters you have, we could actually show off your main character, you, the main healing character, the kind of sister next door best friend person, your actual little sister who actually can join you too. The barkeeper at where you and your friends hang out. A person representing Finland. Yes, Finland is being represented in this game. And she actually can join you. Two twin brothers who also hang out with you. And there's a few additional characters, but that's the prime beginning characters there. And you get a variety of who can come with you, and you get affinity between them. And it seems like there's going to be different endings, because the game outright said, based on your choices and who you hang out with, you may get different endings. So it seems like there will be different endings, but I don't know how different. Like, are they going to be completely different, or are they just simply, hey, so-and-so, and then the game still has the same alternate conclusion, minus some character interactions and that. So I'm not sure how crazy that is. Gameplay-wise, the game seems really fun if you're really into beat-em-ups. But of course, like I was saying, the whole concept is to strip your opponents to kill them and shit. And it's obviously really strange. It is very strange. And you're going to see a lot of underwear. Lots of underwear, weird humor in that. And the game really likes to play on Japanese society with phones. In case you're not aware, for probably the last 5-6 years, phones have been conquering Japan when it comes to pretty much everything, from social network, videos, internet, gaming itself has become so huge on phones in Japan that, I mean, for the last several years, analysts have been saying that handhelds are dying in Japan. But your cell phone is your be-all tool for everything. Your camera, which you use to identify enemies randomly on the streets when you're not doing story or side mission related things. You have a knockoff of Twitter. You have a knockoff of different social media. You can look up, change your stats and stuff, your clothing, and there's all kinds of stuff on your phone, and I think there's going to be more stuff that gets unlocked during the progress. But it really plays a lot on otaku, nerdy kind of humor, like on the Twitter topics and that. You see a pretty good reenactment of online conversations between sane people, unsane people, hypocrites, trolls. You get that kind of feel like this might be an authentic conversation. You would usually see something on NeoGAF or 4chan or something. So I have to give them a pretty nice dash of realism on that. But I really like the gameplay mechanics. I'm not incredibly into, perverted stuff too much, or at least I don't really think so, merely though I do own some stuff like that. But it's fun. I like the gameplay of it. If you're really into the other stuff, it's okay for that. if you're looking for goals in that. But to actually throw out there, though, this game isn't actually unfair. This isn't like one of those games where it's just, there are guys and girl enemies in that. Actually, the 4 set of enemies you fight are all guys. So it's definitely at least not being completely sexist if you're going to throw that kind of argument at the game. So to be fair, you're stripping guys and girls down. It's such a weird game. It's so weird. It is very odd. It has Japanese and English voice acting on it too, in case you are one of those type of people that like the Japanese track over the English. I have not played with English. I've been live streaming this game for my first impressions, and the people watching voted for Japanese track, so I can't really comment on the voice actors of the English version. But Xseed hasn't really had a crapload of bad voice actors, so I'm going to hope that's decent, but you can probably check out someone's video randomly if you want to really check in on the voice acting. Overall, I enjoy the game, and it's not $60. It's $39.99. As far as I'm aware, that's on the Vita and the PS3. I don't know if the PS4 is going to cost more or not. It's not out yet. And as far as I understand, the Vita and the PS3 version are almost like identical. Now, one problem I do have with the game, and I blame the Vita version for this, because it makes sense why it's like this. A lot of the areas feel small and confined, but the world feels like it should be kind of more open world. And this makes sense for the Vita version because it can't really do that huge open world as easy as an actual console. So it makes sense why the console version, which is, you know, if they're not going to do a major differences, is designed that way. And some of the environments are small areas with loading screens in between them. So you get to see loading screen a lot. The loading screen ain't incredibly long. Loading screens have very rarely bothered me, though, to throw it out there. Like, I think the newest Splatterhouse is probably like one of the few games that really piss me off on loading screens. But overall, I recommend it for absolute wacky Japanese beat 'em up kind of thing. I recommend it. It's quite hilariously weird. But if you're looking for a serious story, serious characters, slight perversion, turns you away, because obviously, you know, he's stripping characters down, so there's going to be perversion. There was a little jiggle physics and such on some of the girls and that, so if that kind of thing bothers you, yeah, obviously not going to be for you in that. And the graphics look really nice. It has a beautiful cell shading touch to it and that. I really like it. It's really nice. I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know if I'll enjoy the story as much, but I'm liking the gameplay, as wacky and strange as it is. I haven't played a decent beat 'em up in a long time, let alone a 3D beat 'em up, because I personally like my beat 'em ups being a 2D style. Most 3D ones don't always really interest me too much. I think the only, like, 3D one I really liked was on the PS1. I'd have to look through my shelf. It was like Fighting Force. It really reminded me of like the Streets of Rage days. I think it did really well on the kind of going into 3D. But anywho, those are my thoughts on this particular title. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave a comment down below. Of course, like I said, I played the PS3 version, so I don't know control-wise how nice and comfortable the Vita version is. But as far as I know, there's no huge differences between the games, aside from being on a different console. And as far as I understand, the PS4 version doesn't have any additional contents with it either. So if you want to get, you know, a more next-gen console version, you might want to wait for that. But either way, I'm enjoying it, I like it, and I'm definitely probably going to try and track down a copy of the original game. I remember hearing about it a long time ago, because of course it was going to go everywhere now that, oh my gosh, Japan has a stripping game. Of course it was going to go everywhere. The gameplay, I just like it. It's so reminiscent of beat 'em ups. But it is really hard on hard mode. If it wasn't for the fact that you could just simply clean up your clothes and restore its health, it would be way fucking like stomp your head into the ground hard. But yeah, keep in mind there's a lot of perversion in it. You know, it is an anime game, sexual themes, strong language, violence. But I like the art style on that. The gameplay is fun. It's pretty much something you would normally expect from Japan when it comes to insanity. Next time, I wish I could do Mr. Mosquito 2. Man, I still want a copy of that. Anyway, like I said, if you got comments or anything, leave down below and I will get with you. Thank you for watching. Until next time, praise the sun. Because Saliero's helmet's like right there, you know, he's kind of gone. So praise the sun.